And in our top business story, police in the UAE have announced that they have dealt with almost 80,000 cases of bounced checks, totaling 9.4 billion dirhams last year, an increase of more than 10,000. While there were 79,525 cases last year compared with 68,707 in 2012, the value of the bounced checks decreased from 12.2 billion dirhams in 2012 and 14.6 billion dirhams in 2011. With police adding that there had been 2.23 billion dirhams worth of bad checks in the first quarter of this year. Most cases of bounced checks involve people between the ages of 18 and 35, with figures showing that in 2011, 2012 and 2013, there were 110,554 people between the ages of 18 and 35 who have issued at least one bad check. In the same 3 years, the numbers were 85,363 for those between the ages of 36 and 53, and 4,589 for those between 54 and 71. Dubai police figures showed that of the 110,554 people aged 18 and 35, less than 12,000 were Emiratis. Colonel Mohammed Al-Razuqi, Deputy Director of the General Department of Criminal Investigation for Police Station Affairs, said those whose checks bounced were given a one-month grace period before their cases were transferred to public prosecution. In an effort to increase public awareness, Dubai Police launched a 2-week campaign on about the illegality of intentionally issuing bad checks. As the population continues to expand and more people seek medical treatment, spending in private and public hospitals in the UAE will hit $12.5 billion in 2020, the second highest in the GCC countries. Based on Ministry of Health data in 2012, a private research firm quoted in a local daily estimated that the market size for healthcare delivery services in the GCC will jump from $37 billion in 2012 to $56 billion in about 6 years. The healthcare market in Saudi Arabia will remain the biggest at $28.7 billion by 2020, while Kuwait's inpatient and outpatient treatment expenditures of $6.9 billion will be the third highest in the region, followed by Oman at $3.8 billion and Qatar at $2.7 billion. The number of people aged above 65 years old who are likely to spend more money on common ailments like heart disease, hypertension and diabetes is forecast to double by 2020. Residents in the region have a high purchasing power, with the GDP per capita standing at nearly $33,539 as of 2012. There is also a growing prevalence of lifestyle-related diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular ailments, cancer, psychiatric and musculoskeletal disorders. However, the overall healthcare expenditure in the region pegged at $46 billion in 2012, which includes both capital and individual spending at hospitals and clinics, and remains relatively low compared to countries under the OECD, according to the research, which experts attribute to the significant proportion of GCC patients that seek treatments abroad. Dubai-based property developer Nakheel has announced plans to prepay all of its bank debt of a total of 7.9 billion dirhams by the end of August 2014, 4 years ahead of schedule. The announcement came during a press conference where Ali Rashid Luther, chairman of Nakheel, together with senior officials from the company, announced that a prepayment of 5.54 billion dirhams will be made in August. The payment schedule comes months after the previous early repayment of 2.35 billion dirhams of its bank loan in February this year. According to the officials, the repayment of the bank loans before the March 2018 deadline for the final installment was part of the post-restructuring business plan set out in March 2011. Further to the repayment of bank loans, the officials announced that they have also reached nearly 89% of trade creditor settlement, with the expected payout to be worth around 15% of the total 8 billion dirhams in claims. Speaking at the press conference, the chairman of Nakheel described the announcement as a significant milestone in the company's history. He further added that the move should allow the company more flexibility and open up funding avenues to pursue the growth strategy, which also includes 4 billion dirhams worth of investments in the hospitality sector, as well as larger projects.
Because it was a totally different world in 2010. And, by making the earlier prepayment will give us really the flexibility to grow more and in size of project, in getting a better finance and getting a better rate, and to be financially in a better position. And the important thing that all this is made from Nakheel own collection. And our focus also will be, as I mentioned, on Nakheel asset, building more assets for Nakheel to have more recurrent income and to be in a stronger financial position.